Have you ever walked away from an argument with a narcissist feeling like you lost, even though you were the one who was hurt? Like, how does that make sense? Somebody make that make sense. Well, you're not alone. That's the trap. Let's turn up the volume here. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important mindset shifts you can ever make in your recovery of narcissistic abuse. We're going to talk about the difference between reacting and responding. Because this one shift, this one truth is what turns victims into warriors. Seriously. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to embody that. The narcissist game is everything has everything to do with the reaction, because they want you to react. See, narcissists don't feed on love. They feed on chaos, control, and emotional power. And just because we know that, just because, yeah, I know that you've siphoned all the information from the internet that you can get, and still you know this, but your heart and mind does not grasp the clue. And still you react. And still you know that you're giving them fuel. But it's when you respond, you're holding your ground. See, reacting is emotional. Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you. Welcome. Reacting is emotional. It's impulsive. It comes from your wound. Responding is actually intentional. Hi, Marina. Nice to see you. Hello, Diane. Nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. So responding is intentional. It's grounded. It comes from your healing. See, the narcissist, they'll push every single freaking button that you have, exposed or not, especially the ones installed in childhood, just to make you react. And they win when you lose control. Seriously, they win when you lose your cool. I stirred up some fluff there. So the narcissist will push every button that you have just to get you to react. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, you take a pause. You breathe. You come home to yourself. If you have to, put your hand on your chest. Put your hand on your heart. And breathe. And you do this before you even say a word. You're stopping your thoughts from becoming reality. See, your nervous system, that's fluff right there. That's just fluff. Your nervous system is not the enemy. It's your messenger. And that's what's happening is your nervous system is giving you and sending you the message that it is receiving from the narcissist. And your nervous system is saying, we're not safe, so react right now. And most reactions are not choices. Hello, Resistor. Nice to see you. Welcome. Most reactions are not choices. They're trauma responses. Your body remembers being shamed, ignored, yelled at, manipulated. And when the narcissist presses that button, your body thinks you're back in danger. This is where compassion for yourself becomes key. You're not crazy. You're not too sensitive. You're not you're not going overboard. You're not misunderstanding. Your body is reading the room very well. You're having a real physiological response to psychological harm. But the key is to not stay there. We can actually train our nervous system to pause, to ground, to step out of the trauma loops and into awareness. So understand this, that reacting is repeating, responding is reclaiming. Repeat that. Reacting is repeating, responding is reclaiming. Reacting is repeating, responding is reclaiming. Every reaction is a repeat of the past, but every response is a chance and a choice to create a new future. Responding doesn't mean you're being passive. Oh no, it means you're being powerful. You're stepping into your power. You respond when you say nothing instead of defending yourself. Because guess what? You've defended yourself with the narcissist, and does it work? Does it ever work? No. The cognitive dissonance, the trauma bond says, oh, but this time it will work. What makes you think that? If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a duck. And the repeated process of you trying to defend yourself and react to their harm, their psychological harm, you're just feeding the beast. You're spinning your wheels. You're not getting anywhere because you have done the same thing 50 times already with the same result, and not the result that you were hoping for or wanting. It always went into their favor. So why this time you allow yourself to be triggered, but this time it's different? Because I know, and they should know. They know. Surely they'll get. No, they're not going to change. They haven't changed 50 times before. See, here's the thing. If someone hurts you, okay, you can let them pass one time because maybe they don't realize that they hurt you. But a second time, that's maybe coincidence. But a third time, that's a choice. So 50 times, they're choosing to hurt you. They know exactly where your vulnerability is. And that's why they keep repeating it, because they know that you're not strong in that boundary, in that area. That's your weak spot, and they're gonna push. So saying nothing is to your benefit. Do not defend yourself. You don't need to. You respond when you walk away without needing them to understand. You don't owe the narcissist an explanation for why you're not allowing them to trigger you. Really? Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. It's a no, ma'am, or no, sir today because I just don't feel like playing. And you know what? I've honed in on my boundaries to not allow you to bulldoze my boundaries and take away my peace. So I'm just going to walk away. Thank you, but no thank you. No, stop playing. That still plays into their game. Respond, no, sir, no, ma'am, with your silence and walk away. You respond when you take your emotions and process them with God, not the abuser. This is how you reclaim your peace. Responding is actually a spiritual practice, my friend. Yeah. See, Jesus showed us how to respond to negative people, to evil people. What if they tease you again and again, and once they upset you, they apologize, but it keeps perpetuating in a push and pull method? Yeah, it's a fake apology. And so next time, don't respond, because you're just going to be met with another fake apology. This is setting up the trauma bond for you, Marina. It's the idealization that your body and your brain becomes in tune to seek. And when they pull that away, the rug is pulled out from under you, but you hang on because your brain is chemically bonded to their idealization of you. So that sorry is like going back to, oh, they're sorry, they didn't mean it, they like me, they love me, they're going to be kind to me. And then they show you the exact opposite. It sets up cognitive dissonance, where the truth is set against the lie and you don't know which to believe. You're trapped in limbo. So just walk away. Right on, resistor. Walk away. So Jesus set the example for us, and this example, this bar is set up really high. But with practice, you can do it. You can do all things in Jesus Christ, who is your strength. Jesus didn't react to the Pharisees. He responded with truth. He responded with silence and maintained his peace. So when you heal, you respond not to prove your worth, but to protect it. You respond from your identity, not from insecurity. You respond from divinity, not from trauma. So understanding, that's fluff right there. So understanding who you are, that's the first key to reclaiming your power, is to sit and think with your thoughts. And we've talked about this yesterday. We talked about this the day before and the day before that. Be mindful of the thoughts that you're thinking. Thoughts are not fact. And so those thoughts that you're thinking, you can ask, oh, is this negative thought from me? Is this what I really want for myself? Of course not. So where is this negative thought coming from? This negative thought is causing me and forcing me to and triggering me to react in fear. Oh, this is the same gameplay as what the narcissist did to me in real life. So this is a thought attack. So you know what? The Lord rebuked this thought attack. This is a flaming arrow from the enemy. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. So I send that back to them wherever it came from. It can leave me. It can go away. And then you start thinking on good thoughts for yourself. And it may just be, you know what, I think I'm going to go take a walk. You know what, I think I'm going to go and take a cooking class. You know what, I think I'm going to go exercise. You know what, I think I'm going to go do some crocheting. You know what, I think I'm going to go pray to God. You know what, I think I'm going to go and read some scripture to help me boost my confidence in the Lord, because I know I'm the daughter or son of Jesus, and I'm not going to listen to the enemy anymore. So I'm going to soak in the word of the Lord. This is spiritual maturity. It's emotional intelligence, and it's the path to freedom. So let me give you some practical tools right now to help you on your healing journey. Number one, the pause practice. Okay, number one, pause and just stay calm. Take 3 deep breaths before speaking. Deep breathing disengages your analytical thinking mind. And if you need to, I also, in my anger management pamphlet that I have on my Ko-Fi channel, my Ko-Fi website, in that little ebook I offer a suggestion for you that if you do find yourself getting upset, agitated, count backwards from 10 to 0. 10, 9. And you don't have to be like, I'm showing this so you know what it looks like, so you can get an idea of what it feels like. But when you're faced with, the narcissist, you don't have to show them that you're practicing breathing and counting backwards from 10 to 0 in your mind. You can just You can see my breathing. It's not, that's what we get like when we're angry and agitated and no, it's breathing tells your body that you are safe. And that's the most important thing in your healing is you want to heal, you first have to allow your body to feel safe. So before responding, you breathe, you take a pause, you filter those negative thoughts out, as that's what breathing does. Breathing and concentrating on your breathing just disengages the monkey mind. And then you're able to walk away or respond with an appropriate response. No, thank you. If you disrespect me like that one more time, you leave me no choice but to leave the room or leave this relationship. Take advantage of me like that again, and you and I will have a problem. Number 2, journal the trigger. Don't allow the narcissist to see that they are having, they have their way into beyond your boundaries. Do not allow them to see you sweat. Don't allow them to see that, okay, because sometimes they will trigger you, but don't let it show. Just continue to breathe through it. And when you are in a safe space, go and journal that trigger. What did the moment remind you of in your childhood? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to deal with those triggers? You got to take it way back. You got to go way back. So, okay. Is this new guy I'm with another narcissist? If so, why do I keep on attracting narcissists? What did they see in me? Okay, most likely it is, but right now, because I don't know this person, so I'm not going to make a diagnosis. I never can, never will. But if you are feeling uncomfortable and harmed in any way, and you know the traits of narcissism, you know that. And chances are you probably have attracted the narcissist again, because this is normal. This is a normal pattern that we attract the narcissist, a different one, just a different one that looks different. Just the same type of guy or girl, but just in a different meat suit. And the reason why that keeps happening is because you have to see they're coming into your life for you, so that you can see where you need to build up your boundaries, where you need to build up your confidence, where you need to tap into your self-worth and know who you are. Because when we don't know who we are easily swayed by the narcissist. And well, okay, no, you have to have your self-integrity, your self-respect in check. And that's why the narcissist keeps coming, because there's still weak areas that we are not yet seeing that we need to work on. So hopefully that helps you. Hey Octo, how you doing? So number 3, affirm the truth. I am not responsible for the narcissist's emotions, and that is so true. You are responsible for your emotions. You are responsible for how you feel. And the thing is, we remember not what people did, but how they make us feel. But the narcissist, as much as what they did to us evokes a response from us, we are responsible for how we portray ourselves and how we allow ourselves to either react or respond. We're responsible for our emotional IQ. The narcissist is not responsible for how you react or respond. And they're only provoking you so that they can feel better about themselves. And you are not you're not their gateway drug. No. So take responsibility for yourself and affirm the truth that you don't have to play. You don't have to be a willing or unwilling participant in their addiction to your abuse. And number 4, create a response plan. Write down 3 neutral phrases that you can say when triggered. You can say something like, okay, I hear you. And you know what? I'm not going to make a decision right now. I'll get back to you later. I like to say, you know what? Thanks for that. I'll take that assessment under advisement. You made a really good point. It makes the narcissist feel like they did, it makes them feel proud of themselves. And you're not letting them know that you know. And you know what? Just because you say that to them and stroke their ego doesn't mean that you are going to take their advice under advisement. It gets them to shut down and shut up. And you can say, you know what? I don't agree, but I respect your point of view. Or you can just go silent. Silence is a response. So start small, practice daily. This rewires your emotional control. Hi, Cynthia. How are you doing? It's nice to see everyone here. Oops. Okay, what happened? What did I do? What did I do? There we go. All right, so what if the... Okay, I read that already from Marina. Okay. So, all right, just trying to catch up on the chat there, and I read the chat. So it's nice to see all of you. Welcome to Positively Spiritual. My name is Shannon Gilmore. So start small, practice daily. Yes, practice in front of a mirror. Record yourself with your phone. Record yourself in a response and a reactive state, and review these videos from an objective perspective, like you are the best friend watching your best friend, responding or reacting to the narcissist. And then you can critique yourself and say, you know what, your facial expressions were a little bit off. Your body language was a little bit, didn't line up with your words. And I kind of heard a question in that. And if you can turn that question around and make it a statement, a bold statement with a firm no, not no, like you're unsure of yourself. It's like critique yourself. And you watch how you will listen and learn and help yourself. So start small. Do this daily. Practice. Because again, practice, repeat, 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 again, 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 do it again, listen again, do it again, write it again, hear it again, speak it again. It sounds monotonous, but this is actually how we wire our brain for change. And this is it. This is healing. You want the answers to healing. It's not fixing yourself. There's nothing wrong. It's all these stuff that we do on this channel is to rewire your brain, recalibrate yourself from unhealthy to healthy. It's about making choices, and that's all we're doing is recalibrating you to make healthy, beneficial choices for you instead of making choices that are not healthy and not beneficial but serve the narcissist. You're taking back your power. So if you're still reacting, please don't shame yourself. It's okay. This is a process. You have to unlearn this. And every reaction that you have had was a message from a wound that still wants your attention. We're not here to shame that. We're here to heal that. That's why mentorship matters, my friends. We mentorship each other here on this channel, so come here daily. We show up here for you 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. We've got live videos, we've got podcasts, we've got shorts, we've got regular videos, we've got posts, we have a private Telegram channel, you have my email, you also have a link in the description. That when and if you are ready, if you are tired of reacting, if you're ready to respond with strength, dignity, and spiritual clarity, then let's you and me talk. I offer one-on-one hairs in my face. It's tickling my lips. I offer one-on-one mentorships. These are sessions where we uncover the emotional triggers, the subconscious programming, and the spiritual battles that you are fighting right now. You're not alone. We've all gone through them, just differently. And I'm here to offer you a different perspective so that you can walk away from every single narcissistic encounter in your life with confidence and peace, holding yourself to your dignity. The narcissist tries to take away your dignity. You're here to reclaim it. So just click the link in the description of the video, of this video, and schedule your session, and we'll get on it right away. Because your voice matters, your peace matters, and your healing, well, it's not just possible, it's your calling. So hi everyone. I hope this message has helped you today. And yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I have to say that, you know, I'm walking through this with you guys, as you know, and there's still some hang-ups and hiccups, as there will always be. We're a work in progress. And in areas where I'm confident, you may not be. And in areas where you're confident, I may not be. So we learn from each other and grow from each other. But I have been mentoring people since I was 16 years old. This I am so confident in. Myself, not so much, because I'm able to lend myself to other people. But when it comes to myself and lend that time and care to myself, well, I've had to learn to do that. I've had to learn to nurture myself. And it's not easy, but it's doable. I used to be a person who would, every time something negative would come my way, I would react. I would trigger, but I would trigger and react towards myself. And I would yell at myself. I would almost curse myself. I wouldn't say you effing this and effing that, but my faith in God, I would attack my faith in God. Oh, God's not really here. God's not helping me. Why is there so many problems? If he really loved me, there wouldn't be so many problems. Like there's something wrong with me. I'm just a throwback to society. And it's been this, I've been working on my healing steady for 10 years, and it's been the last 2 years that I'm finally able to see myself as worthy and believe it, know it, and feel it, and stand up for myself. And so when things are going wrong, I no longer am triggered. I just look at them and say, oh yeah, that negative is from my negative thinking that I sowed the seed probably yesterday or 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago, maybe even 2 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago. Somewhere in my life when I was really down on myself and dogging on myself, I sowed a negative seed into this harvest field, and it went out there and it collected momentum and collected negative energy, and it's come back. Do you know that not all fruit ripens at the same time? When you have a crop, a crop of food, and it's the same type, like if you have a crop of wheat, not all the wheat matures at the same time, even though you plant it at the same time. It's depending on the micro ecosystem that's, like there's hot and cold pockets among that field, and the hot and the cold determine how fast that wheat ripens. So just because we're all in this together, we're ripening differently at different times, but we're all going through the same season. And just because you are sowing today seeds of positivity for tomorrow, you still have to harvest those seeds that you sowed from yesteryear, from yesterday, from maybe 20 minutes ago, you were freaking mad. Well, that is going to come back to you in some way, shape, or form in your future, in this moment of now, and it's going to come at you. And now that you know better, you have a responsibility to do better, because if you respond and react to that, or you respond, or excuse me, if you react to the narcissist, if you react to these negative things in your life, you're sowing more negative energy and telling the harvest field, the Holy Spirit that goes before you, yes, please, sir, can I have some more? I want some more negativity, because I really like being negative. I love tapping into this negative energy. It makes me feel powerful. No, it doesn't. It weakens us. So when you respond and not react, and you observe, observance is a response. Just observe. And just, yeah, okay, that's a negative. I got to deal with it. That was sown. I'm not going to react as that person that sowed that seed of negativity. I'm going to react or respond instead of react. I'm going to respond as a person who is emotionally mature and say, this too shall pass. But 2 years ago for me, I was ripping myself apart. And how I was able to change? Reading the Bible, reacquainting myself with God's word again, getting to know God again, establishing a relationship with him, so that this time around, I could establish a relationship with myself and feel confident in knowing and trusting that God says I am fearfully and wonderfully made. By goodness, I now believe it. Before 20 years ago, I would read that scripture that he will never leave me nor forsake me. I read it. I wanted to believe it. I thought I believed it, but now I really do. Because I'm no longer allowing anybody to forsake me, because I'm not going to forsake myself. And that's what I learned coming out of narcissistic relationships, is that I learned that I forsook myself because I didn't know myself. I didn't give myself a chance in this world to get to know myself. And I was just ignoring me, running away from my pain and my hurt, thinking that I could find my identity in somebody else, which in turn just mirrored what I was already doing to myself, but I couldn't see it. So the narcissist mirrors what you are actually doing to yourself. You're cheating on yourself because you're cheating yourself of goodness and kindness and love and the loyalty. You're cheating yourself out of being loyal to yourself. And so the narcissist mirrors where you're disloyal to yourself, where the narcissist confides in somebody else and not you, or cheats on you, or, spends more time with their friends than they do you. Well, this is all a reflection of you, and you're going to repeat this narcissistic pattern until you begin to take a look at yourself, because that's what life is all about. Life is from birth to death. It's about you living your life according to how you see you. And you can either see yourself as the lie, or you can see yourself as the truth. And that's it. That's it. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. I will never, never, ever leave you or forsake you, says God. Thank you. So Psalms chapter 139, verse 13 through 14. Wonderfully made. Thank you, Diane. Thank you very much. So this is the best community. Glad to have found it. It's soul saving. Thank you, Marina. It's nice to have you. Welcome. It is so nice to have you here. It's nice to have everyone here. You know, we're just a community who are healing hearts. We laugh, we cry, we still react, but we respond more than we react as we're learning. Each video is a learning process, and it's taking us one step closer to our divinity. So if you haven't, geek out on these videos. They're here for you to learn from. And yeah, if you guys decide that you ever want to have a one-on-one talk with me, the link to sign up for a 1-hour session is in the description of this video. So we're here 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the evening, and we've been doing some videos in between just because I want to get this video channel out there, because this is all I do. And right now I'm relying on your support, your donations, and just your sharing, your likes, your willingness to pay this channel attention to show the YouTube algorithms that this channel is worthy. So I'm dedicating a lot of time to this video channel for all of us. I don't want to stop doing this. I love this. Like I said, I've been doing this and helping people since I was 16 years old. And you know, we're making a difference. You are making a difference. The fact that you're growing in your life and you're taking whatever you learned from this channel and other channels and you're actually implementing it into your life, that's something to be proud of, because you are the one to stop this generational curse. Yeah, it's our generation that stops it, puts an end to it. When we can forgive, and how we show that we forgive is by transcending the pain to the point where it no longer hurts us anymore. It's like you get to the point where you're no longer thinking about the narcissist. You're just focused on your well-being. You're focused of living the peaceful, joyful life. And that's what you make your focus, is joy and peace and God. And that's what you reflect back to the world. And that's what gets brought back to you. Jesus says we reap what we sow. Well, right now we're so much in pain, and we can't understand why the narcissist does what they do, that our anger, our aggression, our confusion, our frustration is being sown out into this world or this harvest field. And it comes back to us, to which we bite into as we react to the negative situations and negative people that come into our lives. So the first step is to learn not to react to what you have accidentally and absent-mindedly sown into this world. It's like, oopsie, I sowed that. Like every time a negative comes into your life, you can say, oopsie, I sowed that. Oops. All right, we're going to change that. We're going to change that fruit from a bad fruit to a good fruit, but I'm not going to respond to it. I'm not going to react to it. I'm going to deal with it as best as I can without attaching my emotion to it. I'm going to deal with it, and that will lessen the charge, and it's not going to, take its seed and replant itself and come back to me so I can harvest it again. No, you deal with it appropriately by not giving it the negative attention that it needs, and you deal with it in a mature, responsible way. Some things can be ignored, but some things, they do need your attention. So just deal with it maturely, honestly, authentically, and without a negative emotion, and you will see that problem will solve itself and it won't come back to you. And if it does, it will probably be in a different situation or a different person. But why it's coming back to you is because you've sowed that negative charge repeatedly. So, what you sow comes back to you. But once you start living the life of goodness and joy and peace, and you stop reacting and just respond to the negatives that come to you, eventually your reticular activating system in your brain is only going to look for the good things and not have you respond or even see the negative. So that's the point where we want to get to, and it's all practice. It's just putting one foot in front of the other and moving forward in slow or quick motion. Doesn't matter. Don't let anybody tell you and dictate to you that you're not growing, or you're not doing this properly, you're not doing that properly. You should try this, do what you feel you need to do and go at your own pace. This is your life. You get to live it how you want. When you mentioned 2 years ago earlier, Shannon, were you in a narcissistic relationship at that time? Yes, I was. I sure was. Thanks for your question. I was, and the breakup was terrible. I mean, the breakup was short and sweet, but I was left in a terrible way because I was left I'm analytical. And so I want to figure out what the problem was so I can do better for next time. And yeah, I see the red flags, and I see that, I wanted the casual relationship more than I wanted the forever. I was just wanted to take my time. So that worked for me. But it also caused the relationship to become dull. And it also worked in the other person's favor, because by me not pursuing the relationship on a regular basis and just like, oh, I'll see you this weekend, I'll see you, in a couple days, and, not follow up with calls and just be lackadaisical, it really helped him to live this lifestyle that he wanted. But once he got to know me and got to know my principles and who I stood for, or what I stood for, then the problem arose. And instead of us having that conversation of saying, no, this isn't going to work, he just started playing games. And I figured it out. Hindsight is 2020. And I figured it out that he was never an authentic person. He led a double life. And I think he was hoping that I would get on board, but the little hints of the conversation that he was baiting me into, I responded authentically, I responded honestly, and he didn't. He was just taking notes. He wasn't asking me to have a conversation. He was asking me these questions to see where I stood on liberal matters. And so when it came time for his liberal lifestyle to surface and to have me become a part of that liberal lifestyle, he just, rather than talking to me about it, he said no, because he knew I wouldn't go for it. So he just, no. But yeah, so it hurt, but in that relationship and the breakup, that's when since then I've taken the 2 years to work on myself. I'm not with anybody. I don't intend to have another relationship with anybody on a romantic level. Sure, friends, absolutely. But romance, no. I'm romancing myself right now, because my parents never romanced me. I never had my husband romance me. I've never had siblings, have a really close relationship with me. Friends, I'd have friends that would last a couple of years, and then, the friendship would fizzle out. And I get it. It's not just all their fault. But my life has been about people abandoning me. And that's what the narcissist does, is they reveal to you how you've been taught to abandon yourself. So for me, I'm having fun. I'm romancing myself, and I'm taking myself out on walks. I get to go exercise again and build up these pipes, and I'm starting to see muscles back here again, and I'm just feeling good about myself. I'm losing weight, and I'm just getting back to where I was a few years ago in my health and my eating habits, and I'm just really reacquainting myself with myself, and really I'm my own, you are your own best company. When you take God with you and you start asking yourself questions about you, I've even asked God, what do you think about my personality? Like, what do you think about me? Like, what needs work on, or what do you like about me? Like, what should I, express more? How should I be more expressive? Like, what would you like me to, what would you like to see more of from me? I'm going to give you a hint. It's always going to be creativity. And don't take yourself seriously. So, but isn't it sad that we've been learned to never trust people entirely? Yeah, and that's, I think that's a good thing, to never trust people entirely, because it helps you to stay trustworthy to yourself and trust yourself entirely, because God is in you and he's the only one that you can trust. And God will tell you when you are tight with God, he will tell you about that other person, where they're potentially things could go wrong that could hurt you, or where that person needs help with, or where that person is sidelining you. Where I've had God tell me, you know what, Shannon, go check his email, go check his phone. My ex-husband, go check his phone. And I'm like, God, I don't want to do that. I've never checked his phone. And God's like, go check his email. God had my back, because that was the one time that I listened to God, and God shared exactly what was going on with him. I saw in his email, mail order Russian brides. I saw, something in his history, that he looked up divorce 2 years prior to all of this stuff in our marriage coming to a head. I found emails from women, and I found a profile page of him. He filled it out on a dating website, and all of this was recent. And I'm just like, so yeah, God will lead you. God will tell you. I didn't have to go follow my ex around. He was sneaking out of the house, and I wanted to so bad to follow him, but I'm just like, no, I'm not going to stoop myself to that level. I'm not going to go chase him. No. And then God said, well, here, go check his email, go check his phone, go check his computer, and you'll find out. You've got the information. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. So, and I've had boyfriends where God has given me dreams, and God has said, you know what, they're talking to their ex. So it would come out, you're talking to your ex? Yeah, I am. Can I ask you why? Like, what's going on? And then it leaked out that she and he were having inappropriate conversations. And he's like, I feel guilty. And I'm like, but you weren't going to tell me. Well, you asked me, and I said, but did you know how I found out? God told me. If God wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have known, and you would have kept this from me, and this would have been a big secret, and this would have been, no, okay, we're done. We're done. God is good. So I used to find perfume on his shirt, Cynthia. I completely understand. Oh my gosh. I denied the earrings on my bedside that weren't mine, and long blonde hair on his shirts. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I ignored. I remember him coming home from, he was, okay, so my ex, he worked on the rigs, so he would take like a 12-hour drive home from the oil rigs to drive home. And sometimes he would stay the night at a guy friend's house, whom I've never met, never talked on the phone with before, so I just took it on faith he was staying at his friend Dwayne's house. Well, after a 12-long-hour drive and a stay over at his friend Dwayne's house before he, would arrive home 6 hours later, he came home, smelling like a woman, if you know what I mean, all over his mouth. And I'm just like, I'm not, did I? No. And I just like, yeah, I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with it. So yeah, but yeah, narcissists, they don't care. And that's something that I had to wrap my head around every time I suspected or God told me he's cheating, he's not helping this family, he's hurting you. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I believed it when God, you know, of course, I mean, I believed God because I did what God said. But, you know, the times when I suspected, but I'm like, I don't have proof. But I suspect, it's like your spirit knows because you're spiritually connected with somebody that you're intimate with. And I remember the town knew about my ex-husband's indiscretions before I did. And people were staring at me. I go and get gas and people were like, you know, I was the talk of the town and hello. And I didn't even know. At that time, I didn't even know. But when I did find out, I remember standing up for myself and feeling so good. We were outside. I was at the bank and he saw me. He's driving up in his vehicle and I was getting into the car and he stopped me. And he said, "Are you going home?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, well, I'll follow you." And I said, "No, you just do what you need to do." And he goes, "What is that supposed to mean?" And I said, "I know, you cheated." And so we're having this discussion out on the sidewalk on the front stoop of some, you know, the bank and some other, you know, stores in this small town. And he looks over and sees his boss walking up the street. So he tries to hug me and I just pushed him back and I go, "Don't you freaking hug me. You're a cheater. Don't you hug me. I had to find out from somebody else here in town. And I'm the laughing stock while you get to your cake and eat it too. Shove off." And I felt so good. And I didn't care who saw. I didn't care if it embarrassed the heck out of me. I just needed to say what I needed to say. And I felt safe doing it because I knew this is the only opportunity I'm going to have to say it, because he wouldn't dare lay a finger on me in front of people. He wouldn't dare. He wouldn't dare. So I felt confident in doing that. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just, they love to make you jealous. Yeah. The joke will never be on us, sisters. That's right. Desiree, hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see all of you guys. So, yeah, so the one thing that you can do for yourself in this video that we've learned is to respond, not react. Reacting is with emotion, response is with emotional maturity, to stand in your integrity, stand up for yourself, and stay silent. You don't owe the narcissist any explanation. You don't know them any explanation. So it was very empowering, Marina, and thank you. You know, you know, when this was all happening, like 8 years ago, I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, I couldn't even think about the future. I couldn't think that far ahead. It was just moment by moment by moment, because that's kind of what my trauma was in my childhood raised me on, just to think in the moment by moment by moment. And so this was, didn't recognize, but it was rehashing and bringing up to surface all that trauma. And so yeah, it's taken me a long time to figure it out. Like I was over the marriage, like when we broke up 7 years ago. Yeah, I was over it then. I was finally done because I'm done being cheated on. And it was more than twice, probably more than 3 times, probably more than 4 times. It was probably a constant thing. And see, it made it easy for him because he worked 2 weeks out of the home. Like he worked on the oil rigs. And when the oil rigs are just, they're a good place to make money, but not a good place for a family to earn, you know, their money in life and get it. It's good to get ahead, good to save money, but if you've got a family, the rigs are the worst place to earn money for, to keep your family going. And no, it's the worst place. But I'd never want to be a rig wife ever again. Never, ever again. Because I was under the false belief, you know, there's always rumor. And then your husband comes home and starts talking about, guess what so-and-so did? You know, they're getting a divorce because he cheated and she cheated while he was gone and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's not going to be our family because we're a Christian family, right, honey? Right? Yeah, no, not us. No, not us. And yeah, it was us. I was the woman who kept the house together while he was gone and stayed loyal while he just did his thing. So I'm over it. It's done. Hello. That's not a fluff because it was going right here. There's no fluff here. Hello. But yeah, so it took me a long time to, well, I started healing while I was in the relationship. So, but 8 years later, in the last 2 years, like I said, I've really been focusing on myself in the way of really understanding what these narcissistic relationships that I was getting myself into, what are they trying to show me? They mirrored my dad, they mirrored my mother, and they mirrored the way I was treating myself. And I can pretty much guarantee it from my experience, from myself and talking to other people and mentoring them. This is, hello. That's not a fluff. That's not a fluff. That's not a fluff. Wow. So I can pretty much guarantee it, as this is what I do in my practices, that I ask you if you want counseling or mentorship from me. I ask you if it's okay that we go back into your childhood or at the beginning of when you can last remember, when your trauma first, when you first experienced trauma. That's always a good place to start. It sucks, but that's the only way that we're going to be able to get ourselves over the hidden limiting beliefs or this freaking roadblock. I call it like an invisible wall where you just, sometimes you're going on in your life, you're doing good, and all of a sudden you slam into this invisible brick wall and that you don't see there, you don't see coming, and you're like, where is this coming from? This isn't, what's going on? And when you can trace it back to some sort of trauma that you haven't yet addressed, then you see that yourself, you just walk right through. It just crumbles and you just walk right through it, or you walk over it. And you're able to maneuver yourself away from it and get out of your own way. So yeah. Be selfish. I love that, Desiree. Yeah, it's our time. You're right. It's our time now to heal. And it's our time, and it's okay in this time of our healing. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be demanding. It's okay to want what you want. It's okay to seek for yourself the answers, and don't stop until you get your satisfactory answers that you need. Excuse me. You have needs, you have wants, and you're entitled to go, you're entitled to go and get them. So good advice. Good advice. So everyone, I think that's my time for this afternoon. I want to say thank you everyone for joining me. This has been really enlightening and really therapeutic. Like, just, I hope that you guys have been able to just, offload some of that tension that you guys may be having. And remember that I'm always just a link away if you guys want help, one-on-one consultations, face-to-face, private, where you and I can talk about some challenges that you're facing. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to give you a different perspective. So if you are willing to put your trust in me, or you know what, go and geek out on these videos and see if this is something, if this channel is something that you want to be a part of, support it by supporting yourself, by coming here every day at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the evening, and supporting yourself, supporting each other, and give this channel your subscription, give this video a like, hit the notification bell, and if you want someone to talk to, the link is in the description of this video. So I want to say thank you everyone. Loves to you all, and thank you everyone for joining, and it's nice to see the newcomers. You're welcome to the family. Come on in. We'll see you later on. Either this after, like maybe this evening about 7 or so, and then 10 o'clock is our big video that we do, our other live. So it's nice to see you. Welcome to the family, everyone, and see you soon. God bless. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye-bye.